For decades, the only way to deliver education was for instructors to explain concepts in front of a classroom full of students. But this all changed in 2020. After the initial wave of COVID-19, all educational institutions around the world opted for online learning as opposed to in-class learning. Most students were enthusiastic to be able to continue their education from the comfort of their homes. But the reality was far from that. You see, now that there wasn't an instructor physically present in front of students, they had the choice to pay attention or not. This caused a massive gap between the knowledge given and the knowledge received. Furthermore, the current educational model did not adapt with e-learning as it stifled creativity in the students' learning process and focused more on teaching for exams and marks rather than to gain valuable knowledge. In addition, it did not consider the different types of learners and their varying needs. The homogeneity of the current instructional approach caused a lot of students feeling neglected by their educational institutions. From instructors to students, everyone faced issues with trying to meld the current educational model with the new and varying means of providing knowledge. As per UNESCO's statistics, 91% of student population has been affected by the pandemic worldwide. This includes aspects like students' academic integrity, their motivation for passion subjects, uncertainty of their educational future, etc. As students ourselves, our team was motivated to develop a new learning management system which would feature an innovative take on the current educational model. With the incorporation of Bloom's taxonomy and learning styles, the system aims to be student-oriented. Furthermore, the use of technology will elevate the roles of instructors as co-creators of knowledge. In addition, the goal of this research project is to develop a system that supplies knowledge to students of varying learner types and as per their ability to perceive information.
The traditional educational model focuses on direct instruction, where the students are passive learners and gain knowledge through teacher-dependent presentations and lectures. This model is more teacher-centered and does not give students much control over their learning. Other types of teaching models that have been developed include flipped class learning, which uses the concept of pre-recorded lectures that students listen to at home and then have further in-class activities. The Bloom's taxonomy model, which is a multi-tiered model of cognitive thinking, has been used in the flipped classroom, where the remembering and understanding levels are achieved before class, while more advanced levels are done in class to further enhance a student's knowledge of the subject. Personalized learning is one of the more recent approaches that allow students to follow personalized learning plans. It is a combination of various teaching models where everything from learning content to the assessments can be customized according to the needs of the students, therefore enabling them to play a more active role in their learning. An important aspect that gets overlooked in the current education system is the different learning styles of students. According to the VARC learning model, there are 4 main types of learners, which are visual learners who learn through visual aids such as images and graphs, auditory learners who learn best when learning material is spoken or heard such as through lectures and discussions, reading and writing learners who learn through the written word such as writing down concepts and reading articles. The traditional model caters to these learners the most. And lastly, we have kinesthetic learners who understand information better when they are physically engaged in the learning process. Traditional learning is most difficult for these types of learners. Therefore, it's essential to consider different learning styles when delivering learning content. Bloom's taxonomy is a hierarchical model developed by Benjamin Bloom in 1956. It describes 6 levels of cognitive thinking and is a powerful tool that can be used by educators to develop learning outcomes and understand the skills expected from students at each level. The remembering stage focuses on retrieving and recognizing information from long-term memory. The understanding stage is about creating meaning by classifying, summarizing, and explaining information. The applying stage involves using and applying concepts in a given situation. The analyzing stage is about breaking down concepts into smaller parts and identifying their relationships. The evaluating stage involves making judgments and critiquing information based on certain criteria. And lastly, the creating stage deals with generating new information by putting elements together. As students progress through these stages, it helps them to stimulate higher cognitive thinking, problem solving, reflection, and evaluation in the learning process. Bloom's taxonomy helps instructors to select appropriate teaching resources based on the knowledge levels expected from students and design assessments accordingly. In addition, it allows students to enhance their knowledge and gain mastery over topics by building on the skills developed in each level. This makes Bloom's taxonomy a highly effective tool in guiding the learning process and is therefore a fundamental aspect of our proposed system.
Moving on to the explanation of the application catalyst, the proposed software is a student-oriented learning management system which will decrease the work of an instructor from being a direct instructor to being a guardian figure in the student's education journey. Furthermore, the software will allow students to start courses based on their understanding levels defined in the Bloom's taxonomy. This will help above average students in completing more courses at a faster pace. On the other hand, it will not negate the below average students and provide them with all the help and guidance they require. The application begins as the student logs in with their university email and password provided. They will be taken to a learning style quiz. This quiz will help the software to mold certain features based on the student's learning style and display in the student profile if they are auditory or visual type of learners. Once the learning style quiz is completed, the student will be taken to their student profile, from which they can have access to several features. Firstly, the students will be able to view their current CGPA and GPA since enrollment for their respective majors. Next is the active courses section, which will contain all the current courses with their Bloom taxonomy level defined by a color. The upcoming tasks section will display all the future submissions such as assignments, quizzes, projects, which will be connected to the teacher's view. These will also be color-coded based on the Bloom's taxonomy level of the course the students are in. The Courses tab will display all the current courses taken by the students in a particular semester. Here, the students can view their current level, number of students, number of quizzes and course instructor name for the selected course. When the student clicks on any of the enrolled courses, they will be taken to the course home page. Initially, this page will show no level specified. The student will be able to click on the taxonomy quiz to declare their understanding level in the course. Once completed, all the course materials for that level will be displayed to the students. At the end of each level, there will be either assignments or proctored quizzes that the students can take to test their understandings in that level. Another feature of the application catalyst is the teacher chat room that will allow students to communicate with their instructors. Since this whole learning management system is not direct instruction based, this feature will create that missing connection between the student and the instructor for extra support when needed. The figure displayed here demonstrates the distribution of the questions for the Bloom's taxonomy quiz per level. Each course consists of 6 levels, and each level will be allotted 10 questions for the end of level quiz. From the pool of 60 questions, 3 to 5 questions will be chosen at random by the system for the initial Bloom's taxonomy quiz. Moreover, depending on the learning objectives of different courses, the instructors can add or delete levels from the Bloom's taxonomy. Speaking of the specifications and platform used for developing the application, the screen size is designed to fit iPads or tablet devices as well as mobile phones for the convenience of students. The application is developed on Visual Studio Code using Ionic, which is an open source front-end software development kit, and the data storage of the application is developed on the PHP using MySQL queries.
To sum it all up, the new age of students have requirements much different than what they were previously. Thus, a new or renewed educational model is needed to fulfill these criteria. This project demonstrated what the future of education could look like for the pandemic and the post-pandemic era.